What do you think of when you hear the word pedophile? A word itself can carry a lot of weight and context, especially a word like pedophilia. It's actually what I plan to do my PhD dissertation on. Minor attraction, or more commonly known as pedophilia by many people, is still a taboo topic in most circles. As you might be aware from the media these days, a lot of people use the word pedophile incorrectly and really broadly. So there are actually different terms for folks who are attracted to minors depending on what age those minors are. So folks who identify as pedophiles are people who are interested in or attracted to sexually or romantically or otherwise to prepubescent children. So that means that they have not yet hit adolescence or puberty. Hebephilia, or some people call hebephilia, is an attraction to early adolescent children, which is like between the age ranges of 11 and 14. Whereas ephebophilia, or ephebophilia, I hope I'm saying that right, is an attraction to teens. So that's primarily folks who are 15 to 19 years old. Yeah, I mean, most people don't want to hear about this, but I think it's important, and I also think that there are a lot more people who freak themselves out because sometimes we look at kids and we wonder oh, even a child at a spa, when you see them naked, sometimes thoughts go through people's head and it doesn't mean anything. But really people with this attraction, they end up being totally isolated. Often, if they're not also attracted to adults, they just live lives of total isolation. And so they're depressed, they're isolated, they have no relationships, they can't talk to anyone about it, they can't get the therapist, and then we expect them to be okay and not do anything about it. It doesn't make any sense. There is a total lack of preventative care and support for people who are attracted to minors. In fact, a lot of people believe that they don't even deserve any treatment or support. Many healthcare professionals and therapists won't even work with this population because they might be worried about, do I have to report if they tell me about a child attraction or something that's going on? And so they often send them packing with no referrals and nowhere to go to get the help and support that they need. In my opinion, the lack of support and resources for folks with minor attraction only puts our communities and even our children at more risk. The terminology and diagnosis of this disorder, or as some people would call orientation, continues to be disputed. Some believe that it can only be called pedophilia if a person actually acts on those desires or those actions, whereas some people don't even like to use the word pedophile at all because of the weight and the context that it carries in our society. Some of those folks prefer the term MAP, or minor attracted person. Some people, like a researcher named Seto, S-E-T-O, and people who advocate for the rights of minor attracted people, actually believe that minor attraction is a sexual orientation. Remember that other sexual orientations, such as being gay or homosexual, whatever you want to call it, used to be considered mental disorders. Obviously, that's not the case anymore, and now there are laws and things in place that protect people based on their sexual orientation. Looking at minor attraction as a sexual orientation has the possibility of getting this population the help that they need, because it will give us more ability to research it and maybe lessen the stigma around it so that we can actually put some thought and more care into caring for this population. Remember, there is also a huge difference between fantasy and behavior. We all have fantasies every day, and not just sexual kinds, and often we don't act on them ever or don't have any plan to. Maybe you think of what it would be like to sleep with a coworker, even if you're married. Maybe you think about, I'll just keep driving and never come back. What would that be like? Maybe you think about someone else while you're having sex with your partner. Just because it is in your mind and a fantasy does not mean that you have the intention or the drive or the will to act on it and actually do it in real life. I'm not saying it should be okay to have relationships with minors, but I am curious how we protect a population without the proper knowledge and resources for the people that it may affect. What would it look like if we didn't have a system where we waited until after to punish, and instead started taking preventative measures to protect all of the people in our communities? So I know some of you, maybe a lot of you, are watching some of these videos, but I usually only get comments about dick size and dick pills. I don't know if it's too embarrassing sometimes to comment, but I think this topic is really important, so I would love to hear what you think in the comments below, or you can always find me at nicolettavheidegger.com to hear your thoughts. Here's some food for thought. We criticize a lot of folks with this attraction, but actually one of the most viewed porn by people in the world is teen porn. Think about that.